Oh, what is up, guys? Burningheavy here. So, I am going to be talking about the Revenant today. The footage in the background is just the Frostgorge Sound Champ train, killing some trolls beforehand just to, kill the time while we wait for other players, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about the Revenant, which will be released with the new expansion, which I can confirm will be before 2017. Granted, he was being sarcastic at the time, but a developer did say it will be before 2017. Doesn't really tell us much. Now, I'm going to talk about the Revenant. If you've seen the live stream, which I did, it wasn't live, but I saw it after the live stream, the person in charge of making the Revenant showed us just about everything. Now, people were saying how this is huge spoilers, blah, 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 but everything he showed, you can play at PAX. So it's not like it's stuff that we're not supposed to see for the next few months. This is something we're going to be able to see at the beginning of March. He has some very interesting abilities. The animations for throwing the hammers is kind of weird, but that's besides the point. A lot of control abilities. The inability to swap weapons doesn't seem like that big a deal because of the legends. You can swap weapons in between fights, so if you're expecting, this fight, you can switch to this weapon, or that fight, you can switch to that weapon, so it's not that big a deal. It's kind of like switching Ellie weapons on the fly, so really not that big a deal. But the two legends they showed us are Tank Legend and a Condi Legend. These two things aren't really in the current PvE meta, so maybe they're thinking about a shakeup. Maybe they're only thinking PvP. I don't know what they're thinking with this, or maybe they are turning a blind eye to the fact that their current PvE is just DPS, 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 and it's not the perfect DPS control and conditions. I mean DPS control and support. I would like it to be that there's tanking and things like this, but right now in PvE there isn't. Dungeons, you go Zerker, you stack, you kill. It's kind of boring. Exception to that being Aetherpath and a Raw, but that's barely an exception. I saw a good number of tank traits. Different ways to stay alive, different ways to heal yourself, different ways to heal allies. And the taunt mechanic is making me think there might be raids, because a lot of people are saying, well, Guild Wars 2 can't have raids because there's no way to control aggro. But now that we have taunts, and we see what exactly a taunt is, are raids now possible? And not only possible, are they viable? And that's some questions we would like to see answered. I know a lot of us would like to see some raids, not massive 40-man raids. Really wouldn't fit with the current stuff that's going on in this game. But 10-person content would be great. The thing that a lot of people are worried about with the Revenant is it seems really OP, but my idea is it's going to be so complicated that, yeah, if you master it, it's going to be OP. That's going to be so hard to master that so few people are going to be able to do it, because this is a very casual game, except for the few people who are hardcore players. And we're the ones who are kind of disappointed in the direction. The casuals are perfectly happy, but, we want more. We're sick of the same dungeons. There's nothing added. So, we want different stuff to do. But I think this complication, this cost of entry, so to speak, is going to keep people away from making it their main. A bunch of people are going to dabble. A bunch of people are going to go, holy crap, this is hard, and go back to their old main. There are going to be people who stick with it, and those are the people who are going to be able to master the Revenant and do a lot of good things with it. Which brings me to wondering, how will this fit into PvP? How is this going to fit into World vs. World? A lot of his mechanics seem to revolve around taunts. How exactly are those going to work in PvP? They said something about how it's going to force you to auto-attack and, force you to do what seems to be a bit of a reverse fear, which I think would be real interesting. I think PvP is where it's going to be really, really useful. World vs. World, I could see more of a tank mechanic. People are aggroing on our squishies. Here, have them attack me. We have someone downed, unable to res them because there's people over there stopping them, or they're about to stomp. I can pull the aggro and not let them stomp. Things like that. But that makes me think, Is Nomad's gear going to be useful now? If we're going to have people who are playing tanks, are they going to use soldiers or are they going to use nomads? Is there going to be enough healing to make nomads viable? I am hoping there is. I'm hoping the Jarus legend is tanky enough to make nomads gear amazing. And I will be grinding the crap out of Drytop to make nomads if that is the case. But all of this is speculation, and we can make lots more speculation. And I encourage you to do so in the comments below. Ask me questions, speculate on stuff. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think they're going to do with Heart of Thorns that excites you, and what do you think is going to be disappointing? But this has been Burningheavy, and as always, have a wonderful day.